Welcome to Washington Square News. This is Op-Ed Live. I am joined by Managing Editor Emily Bell and Web Managing Editor Kavish Harjai to talk about the ongoing presidential search. Thank you for joining me. So, Emily, you were at a meeting on Monday, November 17th, with William Berkeley, the incoming chair of the Board of Trustees, where he updated members of the student press on the search for a new president and how it's going. What did you learn?
So at the meeting, we learned that after about 200 nominations were sent in, they, as of Monday night, are going to begin the process of narrowing those down. And once they get to about 20 or so names, they'll start interviewing them. There was no timeline given, though, for this process to take place. They also told us, however, by the end of this week, they're expected to post a job profile that will be available to the NYU community about the qualities and qualifications they're looking for in the candidate. They also made it very clear, though, that the job profile posting will be the last direct communication that takes place between the Presidential Search Committee and the NYU community until the candidate's name is ready to be announced.
Well, that at least is understandable. I mean, the upcoming transparency or lack of, because to protect the privacy of the candidates. But what's more troubling is the lack of transparency before this point. I mean, at the 27 listening sessions, the press wasn't even welcome.
That's right. At all of them, like you said, the press wasn't welcome. The only listening sessions that we were able to cover were the student listening sessions, and that's just because the people who are our reporters at WSN are students.
Yeah.
What's troubling about this is that we don't know anything that any of the things that were said at the other 25 listening sessions, and that in my opinion will contribute to the already established disconnect between what the university thinks the students want and what the students think the university wants, and that's just going to grow because we don't know what a member of the faculty said in one of these listening sessions. That could mean a lot to the students.
Sure. Emily, from the meeting, what do you think some of the qualities that the search committee is looking for in a candidate? And did you feel like Berkeley and the search committee are taking into account the considerations from the listening sessions?
So Berkeley said that some of the qualities that the search committee is specifically looking for is experience and success with fundraising and teaching.
Yeah.
And while they mentioned that they would be taking into account input and comments and concerns from these listening sessions, they were unable to explain how that would be factored in as they were looking through the nominations.
And in fact, beyond the teaching and fundraising considerations of the next presidential candidate, other presidential candidates, they're also looking for someone who is a, quote, internationalist.
That's an interesting point, because, I mean, I guess it means they're looking for a candidate, right, who will continue pushing forward the brand of NYU as a global network university, which is peculiar because the global network university has been one of the most contentious issues on campus, and yet with the presidential search seeking a candidate who actively supports it, it seems like the opinions of the faculty and students aren't necessarily being taken into consideration.
Yeah, at one point during the meeting, Mr. Berkeley said, and I quote, "The university is what it is. We are a global network university. That's where we're starting from. We're going to not change that particularly at the moment." And I think that part of what is concerning is that there are a lot of changes that students may want to happen on campus in a variety of different areas of student life. And if they're looking for a candidate who is going to definitely keep something that is such a big part of what NYU is definitely the same, I think that is of concern going forward in how other areas may or may not change.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's a little disconcerting because so many people on campus really want to see change. But I also think Berkeley and the Board of Trustees is discounting the oversized role they play on campus, giving too much weight to the presidential search when they are influencing the decision so much.
Exactly. The Board of Trustees has such a large say in all sorts of policy decisions and the presidential search that I think they're neglecting their both role and responsibility they have to the student body and to the NYU community to really take into account all possibilities for changes in things ranging from mental health policy to financial aid that students might be wanting.
I think that's a good point to end on. If Thank you guys for joining me. If looking to learn more about the Presidential Search Committee and the ongoing look for a new president, check out our website at nyunews.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.